Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast in a game between Diestar versus AAA's Kara here on Shakura's Plateau. Diestar spawning as the purple Terran player here on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, he will be going up against Kara, the green Protoss player here at the bottom right-hand side of the map. Purple versus green, Shakura's Plateau. It is not going to be forced cross spawns this time around, but they are going to be spawning east versus west, but rather closer by air. We'll see how this is all going to work out as this game does continue, and now we are going to see the probe hide a pylon off over here, a rather strange location for that first pylon, perhaps trying to hide some key tech or make sure that he is not scouted out all too quickly. Supply depot being added on the front door. Normally, Terran players either build their first or second supply depot here, and it looks like Diestar may be trying to go for, I believe, a technological build as he wants to wall off against his opponent and make sure that he can fend off any early aggression with the help of his supply depots and his barracks. Barracks should be added down over here as soon as he does have about 150 resources. There it is, 150 resources. Barracks now being placed down as a probe attempts to clear out or attempts to harass that one particular barracks there, as the probe now going to come back in instead. The SCV doing a good job making sure that there are no proxy gateways anywhere on the map, as we now see an SCV battling it out with the probe. The probe able to deal 20 points of damage to that SCV before the probe is forced to back off once more, and the probe looks like it's going to recharge its shields and come back and do it again. The probe now already getting back up to, I believe, 20 shields, and now a new SCV coming back over to try to harass. And that early probe harassment does catch a lot of Terran players off guard, as Terran players really have nothing that they can do about that until a Marine does finally come out. Gateway being added. The SCV is going to take a look around. He is going to pretty much spot that there are no gateways down, so he may overreact to this. Will he spot this gateway finally on his way back around? It looks like he will be able to do that. Sees that the gateway and the pylon is inside his opponent's base, and now knows that there is at least no sort of proxy engagement coming in. A Marine able to shoot down that probe there, as more Marines are still being trained. That probe wants to get the heck out, but it looks like that probe is going to be able to outrun that Marine as the probe does back off. Now, Diestar is getting a refinery already. We'll see when he adds on a tech lab or tries to build a factory. It looks like a tech lab has already been built here, as Diestar now opting to perhaps build a bunker on the low ground. Currently 2 Marines on the ramp, but that's not going to be enough to really stop a Zealot and a Stalker harassment. A bunker needs to be added here, and if Diestar does not add that bunker, he's going to be a bit behind. You can see a Reaper now being added, and the Reaper may be able to get in a little bit of early aggression and perhaps try to counter that early Zealot, but the Stalker will be out in just a moment, and that Stalker is going to eat that Reaper alive if he's not careful. Bunker now being placed down. Where is that Reaper? The Reaper is somewhere not on the field just quite yet. It needs another 5 seconds or so. The Zealot may make its way up. The Stalker or the probe now coming in, going to warp in, and this is a straight 4-gate tech by Kara. Kara looking to 4-gate, and Diestar, if he's not ready for it, if he doesn't have enough bunkers, he's just going to be completely overrun here. As you now see a Stalker, the Zealot's not going to make their way in, and it looks like some damage will be dealt. The Marines are going to jump in inside just in time there, as the SCV taking a bit of damage, and it looks like the Stalkers are going to be able to absorb a lot of that damage there, and the Stalker now down to 38 shield. A Marine needs to make its way over, perhaps get some damage onto the Zealot. The Zealot looks like it will get taken down as the Marines try to go up against that Stalker here. This is just pure aggression by Kara, and Kara really coming out ahead this time around. More bunkers will be placed now, and it looks like the Marauder was never added. What happened? Were there any worker kills at all? It looks like there was one worker kill, but that was essentially it, as now the Marines are trying to jump inside a bunker, will be able to do so. But Kara now in still a very aggressive positioning here, going after the Stalkers. Is Kara going to be able to get in even more damage? It looks like it, as the SCVs are all getting destroyed, and this is what happens when you go for an early Reaper as opposed to an early Marauder. I believe there's an SCV still off over here. There is currently no Reaper in play. The Marauder is finally in, but Stalkers are already on the low ground trying to push their way up, and this is going to be a problem. Finally, one Marauder inside the bunker, but is it going to be enough as the Marines jump inside? One low hit point Stalker not even going to get focused now. One Stalker gets taken down as the Stalkers now just making their way up the ramp. what, 3 bunkers on the low ground, only 2 of them with units, and with that only half of them, as well as the SCVs now making their way over, no concussive shells. The Marines and the Marauders are trying to finish this off, as we now see the Harvester count 9 to 19, and Diestar leaves the game. So Diestar losing to Kara's very early aggression, and this is something that I'm not quite surprised to see. A lot of players have recently been really trying to play a lot more heavy macro style games where, hey, you know what, I'm gonna go 2 bases, you're gonna go 2 bases, and then let's battle it out. But with that, a lot of players are no longer ready and are no longer able to defend against that early 1 base aggression, as we saw Diestar. Kara just came in, he had 1 Zealot, 1 Stalker, that was it. He trained a Reaper first instead of a Marauder, didn't have concussive shell. He wanted to go for a bit of harassment, didn't really get that much damage. I wasn't even able to keep track of the Reaper. I know a Reaper was trained, but you really need that early Marauder if you are looking to fast expand behind this. Diestar getting a little bit, I would say a little bit aggressive. He wanted to scout out with that Reaper as opposed to defending a very fast expansion, and that's what happened. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for Game 2 in this matchup between Diestar and Kara.